All right, Bob. Mariners had a 4-5 road trip, but now they have 7 straight against the A's and Pirates. So how do you feel about where they stand?
I like that they have the A's to open the home series with a 4-game series. That's very helpful for an offense that's really been uneven. I feel like we have the same conversation every week. Pitching, phenomenal. Phenomenal. You had your 3 guys go, your 3 best pitchers outside of Luis Castillo who had been struggling before last night. I mean, Bryce Miller throws a gem. You got a quality start out of each guy. Bryce Miller, George Kirby, Logan Gilbert, all give you a quality start, all give you a chance to win, and you win one of those games. And you got shut down by a guy who had 3 starts in the Braves, talking to, what was his name, Schuler, or I'm trying to remember his last name. Schuster, that's right. 3 starts, he'd given up 11 runs in those 3 starts, walked 11, was getting his tail kicked, and then he holds the Mariners offense to 1 hit in 6 innings of work. It's just, that's shameful. I'm sorry, it is. And you got to be able to back up your pitchers. You've got to be able to back it up when they go out there and they give you what they gave you. So that was an incredibly frustrating road trip. The way that ended was really frustrating. The A's, they're abysmal. That is just a horrid team. So I don't know. I'm sort of battling with how much do I put into their success. It was great to see Julio come up with 3 hits. It was great to see, Kelenic launch a missile 455 feet. It was great to see Luis Castillo go out there and shut him out. But how much do we put into it? How much does that tell us about the Mariners? And are they better, or are they just playing a barely professional baseball team in the A's? So I think it's great that they get 4 out of the gate with them. You take 3, mandatory. You take 3, if not 4. 4 games hard to sweep from anybody, but you better get 3 of these 4 because that team is dreadful. Pirates are starting to come back to earth a little bit, but they're decidedly better than anybody thought. And then you've got the Yankees after that. So I think you got to make your hay early in this 10-game homestand.
What do you think about the gentleman José Caballero taking over at second base?
I love it. I've been calling for it for weeks. Not because I think he's going to be a superstar. I have no idea. That's my whole point, is let's find out. Let's run him out there night in, night out. He knows what he's doing. He knows he's in the lineup. He knows he's playing. Let's see what he does, because I think there's some element of the unknown that favors him. The league doesn't know him yet, right? And maybe it's fair to say he doesn't know the league either. So I just think he brings an edge. I think he is absolutely fearless. You see him get into it with the umps. You see him get into it with the catchers of the opposing team. I think if he were on another team, I'd probably hate him. He's that kind of guy that's like a nuisance, who's just like, he's poking you, he's prodding you. I love that. You don't have anybody like that on this team, and he's got an attitude and an edge, and he's doing everything better than Kolten Wong. He's playing better defense. He's hitting at the plate. So my thought was run him out there, let him play, 8, 10 games in a row, see what he does. If he falls on his face, could it be worse than Kolten Wong? You get the same production. So, so far it's been a win. It's been a winning move, and unless he needs a day off, there's no reason to see Kolten Wong in that lineup at second base again.
Who's the Mariners' best pitcher right now?
George Kirby. George Kirby is their best pitcher. George Kirby, if you had to cast your vote for an all-star right now, is their only all-star, with Kelenic a close second. I'd have to see how Kelenic stacks up against the rest of the outfielders in the American League, but George Kirby is your all-star. He's given you 8 consecutive quality starts. 8. He's only had 9 starts. His first start of the year he got roughed up, gave up 4 runs, I think. Wasn't a great outing. Every outing since has been a quality start. 4 of his last 5 starts, he's gone at least 7 innings. He went 8 innings. He gave you a complete game. George Kirby is your best pitcher at this moment.
All right, Bob, last question. What are the Mariners missing right now?
Consistency with the offense. You've got a stellar rotation. Doesn't mean they don't have duds out there. Everybody throws a dud out there at some point. But their rotation is amongst the best in baseball. Their bullpen is amongst the best in baseball. I think it was considered the best WAR-wise going into that Braves series. I'm not sure where they rank now. But so you're talking about your pitching across the board being amongst the best in all of Major League Baseball. You're a very good defensive team. Your offense is this. One night you put up 10. The next night you put up 1. You put up 1. You get shut out by some guy who's getting his tail kicked by everybody else. So you don't know what you're getting with the offense. You have no idea. I mean, you got your biggest bats, your biggest producers, expected producers have been struggling. I mean, Julio has had a dreadful month of May. Prior to last night's game, he was hitting 147 in the month of May with a 247 on base. You got Teoscar Hernandez leading all of Major League Baseball in strikeouts. You've got Gino Suarez's power numbers aren't what they were last year. He hasn't hit his stride yet. Those three guys are in the top 10 in strikeouts in all of Major League Baseball. So there's just a ton of swing and miss. There's a game where they come to life and you feel like, okay, they're finding it, and then they go 2 or 3 games where they have 1 hit or no hits. That's been up and down the lineup, not just those 3 guys. Ty France, 14-game hitting streak, then he goes hitless in the series against the Braves. So the inconsistency has been the biggest problem with their offense. It's just, you don't know what you're going to get, you don't know who's going to give you anything. It is so up and down, and that's got to get figured out.